Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Action Jackson, and in today's video, I'm mostly going to be talking about like how team chemistry is very important for where you want your team to be in this certain end of the season. At the part of the at the end of the season, you want your team to be somewhere, and for me, I know where I want my team to be, and for whoever reviewing, you're not a Cowboy fan, you might have a different perspective. But I'm going to be talking about how team chemistry is important for the Dallas Cowboys, and also while I'm talking, I'm going to be I'll be showing you guys the OTA pictures. So before I hop into the video, I'd appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment and share my video with anyone you think will enjoy my content, man. So yeah, just hop straight into it. While I'm speaking again, I'm going to be showing you guys the OTA photos of what I got. Shout out to the Five Talks on Instagram. Make sure you guys go check them out on there. That's where I got my pictures from, my screenshots from. I don't know where originally where he got the pictures from. You got to ask him about that. But yeah. So, team chemistry is important to everything, and, in the sports world and everything like that. Just in terms of, when you're going out there in the NFL, they always talk about it as a battle, as like war. And, they're going to need to have each other's backs through every single game, whether it's preseason, whether it's week 1, whether it's week 18, whether it's an NFC conference game, a divisional round playoff matchup, doesn't matter. You're always going to need that chemistry and that companionship, because, you go out there and you always hear about with these great players how OTAs start out with you having, building the team chemistry. It helps for when you have new coordinators coming in, defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators wanting to come in and then want to implement their system and everything of that nature. So OTAs is a big part and number one step into building that team chemistry. But also, I love what the Dallas Cowboys did overall in the offseason by bringing in two guys particularly that know how to win, and they've won on a big stage. Brandon Cooks is only 29 years old, and he's been to 2 Super Bowls, 2 back-to-back. He lost in both of them, but nobody else outside of Stephon Gilmore can say they have ever gone to Super Bowl that's playing on a football team. Maybe Ronald Jones. You got Ronald Jones, who's been to a Super Bowl. Brandon Cooks, who's been to a Super Bowl. Stephon Gilmore, who's been to a Super Bowl. And, Gilmore and Ronald Jones are they both won Super Bowls. Ronald Jones is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He had a major part in one, and he didn't contribute in the other one, but he still can tell you what it took for certain guys to get there. Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore. Brandon Cooks is only 29 years old. Like I already said, he's been to 2 Super Bowls. Stephon Gilmore, I believe, has gone to 3. He's gone to 2 back-to-back. He's won 1 Super Bowl. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. So he has a big name in this league. And also, they're both guys that can still play. So this isn't like, if you understand some of the basketball reference, for example, the Miami Heat, they have a guy named Udonis Haslem who's like the 15th guy on the roster, right? And everyone asks him that watch basketball, they're like, why is he there, But, he does a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet. He doesn't play at all. He hypes up the guys. He gets Jimmy Butler going. They're having an incredible series right now, being 3 up against the Boston Celtics. But he gets Bam Adebayo going. He gets Jimmy Butler going. He gets Duncan Robinson. Anyone who's been in a slump, he gets them out of it. He talks them through and be like, hey, yo, what's going on, man? So, and I know I'm going a bit off topic, but when you have a guy who's been there in that situation and who has been that guy or is that guy, a lot of guys will be able to lend that ear and, be coachable. They'll be able to listen to him, just because they're around the same age, they won't blow him off or anything like that. So I think Dallas Cowboys, that was really respectable in what they did by bringing in a Ronald Jones, a Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore. And Brandon Cooks be on the offensive side of the ball and Stephon Gilmore be on the defensive side of the ball. And that's another underrated part that the Joneses and that Will McClay don't get respect for, is that they got 2 veteran leaderships that have done it on a big stage on each end of the ball. So I think that's even great as well, because now you can go out there and Gilmore can be like, hey, Diggs, when you're guarding A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, whoever the receiver, Tyreek Hill, whoever this receiver may be, he can give him keys and tips on how to defend it. Same thing with all the corners, the safeties, everything like that. So I really think that's key. I love that we brought in Stephon Gilmore, because he can bring, coachable. He can be the coach on field. Dan Quinn's already going to do his magic on the sideline, But when you have it on field with a guy like Stephon Gilmore who can also coach but also play, I think that's going to be tremendous. Same thing for Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has played with 2 Hall of Famers. He's played with Drew Brees and he played with Tom Brady. He can speak to Dak Prescott and talk about how their mentality was going into certain games, when the momentum shifted in a certain game, whether it was a Week 8, whether it was a conference championship or Super Bowl. He can tell, like, hey, Drew Brees did this. Tom Brady did this. Not saying Dak is on that level. I'm not saying that, so let's don't twist my words. But also, Dak Prescott can play. Because trust me, if Dak Prescott wasn't able to play, he wouldn't be in this league, right? So he can tell Dak Prescott, hey, in this weather, if we're playing in Philly and it's we're playing in Philly, it's 30 degrees outside, it's 10-mile-per-hour wind, and if we're gonna have to throw that ball, I need you to throw it here at this time, at this moment, at this area of the field. This cornerback's playing me this way. Give him one look one way, look the other, throw it to me, whatever. He might just say, hey, forget it, just toss it up. I'm 50-50 jump ball, So what, I'm 5'10", I can go up and go get it. So there's certain things that Brandon Cooks has learned from a guy like Tom Brady or Drew Brees. They can go and give to Dak Prescott, let him know, like, hey, from a mentality standpoint, from this is how you throw the ball to me in this situation, how you throw the ball to the other receivers, route running, same thing what he can do with a CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb still has a lot to learn. He did tremendously, and he proved to a lot of Cowboy fans that he can be a true number 1 wide receiver, in which a lot of us were kind of questioning. I won't say a lot, I would say a few. But, some of us knew that, CeeDee Lamb was going to go out there and was going to ball. But some of us had our doubts about him because, he came in, he was automatically the third receiver behind Gallup and Coop. And if you look at it in 2021, he was wide receiver 2, just behind Amari Cooper. So he's been in Amari Cooper's shadow, you would basically say, since he got here. But now he stepped up on his own and was a grown man in 2022. And he still can learn a lot. So, same thing with Michael Gallup. Brandon Cooks can teach Michael Gallup a few things. So I just think that when you bring in those 2 guys as one at a high level and that they want to win and they want to compete at a high level, I think that, you can accomplish a lot of things. And for us, we have a particular goal in mind. And that's why I say it's so important that we have a Ronald Jones, that we have a Gilmore, that we have a Brandon Cooks. Because in our mind, the front office, the players themselves, they spoke about it before. Zeke even said it when he was on the team that, he's tired of, I've won playoff games. I've been to playoff games. I want to do a playoff run, things like that. Where the Cowboys themselves, not even the fans, the Cowboys themselves are already thinking on where they want to be. I know my expectations on where I want the Dallas Cowboys to be. You guys might have lower expectations for the team, but I know where my team is going to go if their mind's in the right place, if they're playing correct football. I think we can go a very long way in this league this year, man. And I really like the Dallas Cowboys did with the construction building. I understand it's only May, so once June 1st comes, don't be surprised if the Cowboys add more players, cut players. So, especially with the offseason, the unusual offseason that they had this past season, I think this is a step forward in the right direction. When they traded those low-round picks for guys like Gilmore and Cooks, they brought in Ronald Jones, they re-signed Jonathan Hankins and things like that. So, don't be surprised if they bring in a guy after June 1st that can come in and help us contribute to win and everything like that. So, that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.